Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Playing more Slay the Princess. I have no idea what's going to happen, which is exciting. This whole game has been honestly very exciting, which is not something I get to say very often with games. Hello, Cherry. Hello, Bob. Hello, everyone. I hope that you all are doing well. Um, and yeah, so searching for Pos gets possessed, which is pretty great, honestly. Um, but yeah, this game has kept me guessing, and we learned last time that it does seem like the one thing that I had just kind of settled into, which was that we had enough loops to try stuff again and again, may be coming to a close. We may actually be coming up rather swiftly on our first proper ending of endings from the sounds of it, if I interpret the entity's language correctly, which is in and of itself an assumption. So we'll find out. But yeah, this whole game continues to be a ride. We got kind of our first set of paired parallel routes last time, which was very fun to see back to back. I wasn't really gunning for that. It happened as a very happy accident. But I like that those happened in the same stream, so that we got to see kind of two very different versions of the princess, but with a very similar set of choices. Um, Happening, side by side, juxtaposed. That's the word I was desperately searching for. And we ended up a very interesting loop, which I guess is where we are now, which will be interesting to see who we're with and where we go from here. But we did meet the oh so dramatic voice of the smitten, which was an experience. The smitten was a lot. The smitten was a lot. So was so was the damsel, to be honest. that was um that was a whole that was a very different horror tack for the writers to have taken, and I appreciate the direction. Hey, Bedred, and wow, just what a choice. The voice work, as it has been this entire time, was superb, and how well it matched with the art style degrading, evolving. I'm not sure what the appropriate word is there. Um, Shifting, warping. I'm gonna go with warping. The art style warping as we progressed through that uh, dialogue, if you can even call it that. That usually involves two people. Was great. Was so great. Um, and then we got the other version of that, which was so good. Yeah, and then the narrator essentially took us over, or did their damnedest to take us over a couple of times, which also went slightly differently both times. One time we had the option to succumb to the mind control, and the other time we didn't, which I thought was very interesting. Not 100% sure what that means, but just putting it on the pile of information. But yeah, the most interesting thing I think was that I think while talking to the damsel perspective in the long quiet, we did hear what I originally dubbed the entity. Essentially suggest that the next time we get there, they'll be complete. So there's a chance tonight we might see a proper ending. Maybe, I don't know. These are guesses. I'm guessing, but there's a chance. Doesn't at all mean that this will be the last stream, because I think there are all sorts of routes that will be left undone if we get there tonight. And I am honestly all for poking and prodding at the corners that we have not poked at yet. So almost certainly there'll be some more. Even if we do get to an ending tonight, I think I would like to go back and see what else awaits us in the paths we have not gone down, in the cabins that we have not gone in, so to speak. Um, that was the entity preventing you from going to the same chapter 2 twice. Ah, there's two ways to get to some of them. Okay, that makes sense. Which yeah, I remember them saying something similar with when we got the contrarian route and uh, refused the call entirely, and they were like, "You won't be able to take that road again." And true to form, in Chapter One, we no longer have the ability to turn and walk away anymore. Although we do have it in Chapter Two's still, and I haven't taken that road yet. Although I'm very tempted. I think we're in a Chapter Two at the moment with the prisoner who is hyper manacled. There's a spare one left over just in case. We got the voice of the skeptic, I think, is our new friend. Um, and yeah, we're right in the middle of that conversation. We came down. I can't remember if we took the knife and dropped it or just didn't take the knife down. Regardless, I don't think we have the knife in hand, and we've approached to just have a chat. So we're in the midst of having a chat. Yeah, manacled and collared. Yeah, it's just we got just so many chains, just chains out the wazoo. There was a sale at the chain store. Um, but and again, there's an extra one on the wall, which I appreciate that the skeptic also called out the spare one on the wall and was like, "That's the one I'm concerned about." I'm like, "Good, okay, it's not just me." That's the conspicuously unused extra spare manacle that is just lying there unused, swaying in the wind, as it were. So that's where we're picking up tonight. This game continues to be wild, and I have no idea where this route will take us. Perhaps to a chapter 3, perhaps not. Let's find out together. But first, before we find out anything more, we need to find out about content warnings. Because this is a horror game with some heavy themes, as well as flashing and strobing images in some of its sequences, scenes of graphic violence, as we've seen plenty of times, blood, gore, and body horror. We have had multiple scenes now of death instances of character suicide. We haven't run into drowning yet, but it's on the list here, so it's. I assume there is a path in there that will get to it, so it's on the warning list for a reason. Suffocation, immolation, torture. Um, Mention the chains. I imagine it's a possibility for this particular route that we're on right now. And then gaslighting. If you've met the narrator, you know all about how much that is in there. Although I don't think it's exclusive to the narrator, but that's where just a whole bunch of it comes from. For a more extensive list and detailed warnings, you can either head to doesthedogdie.com and search up Slay the Princess. There's also a link directly to the entry in our CW tag, or head to blacktabbygames.com, and they've got a pretty fantastic list on their own site. That you can scroll down and get kind of a batch list like we've got, or keep scrolling down to give you a chapter by chapter list of the specific content warnings, which is A+ work, and I really hope more devs will kind of follow that example and even iterate on it and improve on it as needed. So it's pretty cool. Did we even get to see the immolation or suffocation yet? I think you could argue we kind of have seen suffocation in one of these routes. I don't think we've seen immolation though. So those are still out there. We have not seen those in our routes yet, so it's fair warning that we might. Hey Joy. But yeah, so that's the one. I've only seen the narrator tell you 3 outright lies. Huh. That's fair. I would say that I've heard the narrator mislead us plenty of times. But yeah, I think that you're correct in that outright lying is not necessarily the narrator's style. Which is yeah, he omits reams of information. Yes, yeah. um, but yes, and also I think doing so to deliberately try to suggest that the reality that we are experiencing is not the reality. The to suggest that the reality that we are experiencing is not the objective reality. Thus, the original meaning of gaslighting. Um, Comes up pretty frequently, and that's I think why it's very important to include here. Um, there is obviously some question as to whether there is an objective reality and who knows what it is. So it's not necessarily that the narrator is always the one doing the gaslighting versus whether like the game itself is kind of doing that, like with things like with the mirror moments where it's there and then it's not. So it's still an important tag to include. This is not me trying to justify it to you specifically. This is me for anybody who happens in and is wondering why that's being included here. This is me just putting that out there broadly, so that it's clear why that's going to be included. Because I've put it in there for other games in other cases where it hasn't been as cut and dry as this one. But particularly in moments like this where the narrative is kind of causing the player to question their own reality, I feel like it's a very appropriate one to include. All right, that's that on that. I don't really want to delay because I like this game a lot and I want to play more of it. So let's do that thing now, and do the thing. And I have opened on this screen every time because this is stream, what are we on, 6, and I just love every sentence on this page, and it hasn't worn off. And in fact, I think like this page means more the further into this game I get, and I think that's awesome. All right, these should be at the same time there. Yeah, just sale at the chain store. I don't even know what to say. Right. Focus, this is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. We had a whole sidebar with the hero, the skeptic, and I think even the narrator weighed in. And the princess kind of called us back to the present moment. You're asking about my intentions earlier. What did you mean by that? What happened after I died last time? We've had this question before, and I'm always curious about the answer. I'm always curious what she'll say to that question. That other chain on the wall, who is it for? Now that's a very curious thing to be asking here. I think I avoided this last time, but I kind of want to go straight for it. Our last chapter 1, I went purely for the answers that like instinctively the first one that felt right was my guiding star. I don't know if I want to keep doing that tonight. We'll see where the wind takes me. What would you have me do? Generally speaking, I don't like abdicating our choices. I prefer that we choose a path as opposed to just being like, well, what do you want to do? But at the same time, that means that I don't think that we've ever done a path that is just like, well, what would you want? Or what would you have me do? So we could try that. I think I'm just going to leave you here, actually. You're not much of a threat to anyone locked up like that. Bye! And yeah, I don't like these last two. Just because you asked doesn't mean you have to do it. Very fair. Yeah, I'm going to go with the one that my gut latched onto first. That other chain on the wall, who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
Okay, it's a strong opener.
Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
I mean, we could inspect the shackle. It's not the same thing as putting it on. If we do anything else, I hope this will stick around. What happened after I died last time?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now...
Hey, Mux, welcome back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
I'm going to go ahead and quick save for a moment because I don't want this option to go away, but I do have some more questions. You were asking about my intentions earlier. What did you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Right, except this time there's one around your neck.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
Very good question. This is in fact a chapter 2.
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
Okay, so we still have this. How am I supposed to cut you out? If you didn't notice, your head is in a shackle too.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
I'd forgotten this last time. I think when we approached, she had specifically stopped us from getting any closer.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Right, she asked us not to get any closer, and we agreed, which I still stand by.
She isn't bluffing. Whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Oh, perfectly put. Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead and let's quick save again. You realize that I have as much reason to distrust you as you have to distrust me, right? I'm not giving you a weapon. In case you've forgotten, you killed me with it last time. So, our last chapter 1, I forgot how it started exactly, but we cut her out. The narrative took us over. We resisted and warned her. And then she realized that we were resisting and agreed to make it quick. And then we ended up here. I can cut you out of here. I'm not giving you a weapon. Or I'm trusting you and give her the knife. I'm fairly well convinced everyone in this game knows something we don't, including us. Yeah, that tracks. Alright, we just quick saved. I'm going to take just a brief sidebar and take a look at the shackle while we're over here.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Well, you're not us.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
Great question.
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Well, no, I gotta.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Incredible.
Excuse me? Yes?
Where's the voice of the cheated when we need them?
Are we stuck here now? Yes.
Oh, what a perspective.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Did you know that this was going to happen to me?
No.
So we're both stuck here.
Yep.
What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
Fantastic. We'll wait in silence.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again.
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. An incredible line. The more I watch this, the more convinced I am the narrator does not describe the action, but brings it into existence. Yeah, that seems to be pretty consistent. There are some very minor like interruptions to that. There do seem to be some caveats or some exceptions to that, but by and large, that seems to be the through line.
And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
No, let's keep talking. Hey, have you noticed the basement changing?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
Alright, we'll continue to wait in silence. It's been a while. You know, things change. Maybe the
You
princess
continue
also
to wait
changed.
in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass.
Notice the pristine blade has been swallowed up.
Until suddenly,
Ooh!
there are no walls.
Oh,
And then,
stars.
and
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oh. We just waited and the world came to us. You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns. Let's just go ahead and drop this here.
she's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
I said I didn't like this option. I've never chosen it. And I don't know if we'll get another chance to. I am going to choose it now and just see what happens. Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
And we approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. But you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. Oh, the beak. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
Crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Oh, hello. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you. What are you? Are you something like me? If you're not me, then what are you? I have so many questions for you! Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like that? I'm sorry, I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I look away or stop asking questions? This explains why the narrator couldn't see the mirror. Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks. Are you a part of me, or are you something else? You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess. Why? I've met you many times. Have you been the same you all along? I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I? What is this place? Where are we? Or we could just destroy the mirror. Boy, wouldn't it be wild to just click this? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not. We're not. Absolutely not. This is nice. This goes nowhere. We're gonna start with this. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help, after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Oh, I love the eyes, the mouth. Whew! What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you, after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Others like you? You've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Do you have anything to say for yourself for all the hubris? Amazing. Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like that?
It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
Are you a part of me, or are you something else?
No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is?
So you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you denied it as even being a possibility. Why did you lie to me? If you made me, then what am I? What is the princess? Did you make her too? The people out there beyond the walls of the construct, do they know about this? Do they know what you want me to do to them?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
What is the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Why would you want me to destroy the concept of transformation?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed.
If I destroy her, how is that existence any better than death, or even different from death at all? Honestly, it feels worse.
When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
Alright. That's like 2 more. I love that we could just spend one of these on You're Delusional. That almost feels worth it. Do you have anything to say for yourself for all of this hubris? What would it be like to live in a world without her? Why couldn't you have told me all of this from the start? I would have helped you destroy her. That's not remotely true. If she's capable of becoming whatever people believe her to be, can't I just will her into something small? So you do know about the looping, where we read that one. You made me, then what am I? How did you die? Why did you make her a princess? Interesting question. Of all things, why is she a princess? Why couldn't she be an ant or a slice of soggy bread? How am I supposed to destroy an abstract concept? What if neither of us leave this place? Does that work? Can we just stay here together and leave the people out there alone? What is my true identity? Why would you want to rid the world of death? I feel like we kind of just asked this. Pretty sure death is good, actually. Important, even. Who cares about dying? I've died plenty of times. As funny as the soggy bread version is, I'm going to go with, why did you make her a princess?
I didn't make her a princess, but I wove the idea of her into something your scattered mind could fathom. You chose for that something to be a princess.
I just got the achievement, Death of the Author, run out of questions. I think you're out of time. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good. Oh, that's spicy. Rest easy, I'm going to destroy her. Lie. Rest easy, I'm going to destroy her. Yeah! I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I still have to see what she thinks about all of this. Say nothing and watch him end. Oh, wow. Wow. They're all good. They're all good. This is weirdly tempting. This is maybe the most honest answer. Really disheartened by the lack of everything goes dark and you die. Ooh. Ooh. I wasn't until you said it. Oh. Like, again, if I'm being like 100% honest, I would probably choose this answer because I do want to see what she thinks about all this before we make a decision. But I don't need to tell him that. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find. Oh, that's probably fine.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
In before biblically accurate princess. Oh, we've got so many good ones. Did you come looking for soda?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
You just got
It's
distracted.
very pretty.
It is very pretty. I've missed you too. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation? Were you eavesdropping just now? It seems like a rude thing to open on. I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means. What happens now? No, we're gonna open on I've missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response, and then patiently waits for you to continue. An endless cascade of smiles is beautiful and terrifying. I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes.
You have killed us a lot.
So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave? Don't you have a say in all this? Why is this all falling on me? Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions and need answers before I can make a choice. If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would have led me to this moment? There has to be another way. This can't just come down to me either destroying you or letting you out. I won't do it. I told you what was going to happen when we reached this point. Slay the princess without saying anything. I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go. Well, this seems like a lot. Which means it's a great place for us to take our break. So we're just gonna leave them here for a second. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and rather than risking the ads kind of preempting the middle of this, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hop to the break a little bit early. So stand up, stretch, go grab a drink, whatever you need to do to take care of you. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes and figure out what kind of god we'd like to be. I guess that's just the thing that's happening now in this silly little game. Yeah, see y'all in a few. feel like I've said this multiple times every stream of this game, but this game is so much. When it stops being true, I'll stop saying it. I think I'm going to kind of start from the top here because I do very much like the phrasing on our very first option. There's so many stories we've left unfinished, can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
All right. This next one I want to ask because I do genuinely... Well... I'm going back and forth because I also... I dislike that it feels a little bit like kind of abdicating a little bit, of kind of pushing the decision back on her. On the one hand, I would like to know kind of her insight on all this, but at the same time, we're kind of getting her insight on all this along the way, so I don't think we need to necessarily ask for it specifically. That thing she just said gave me a mental image of you finish this part and it gives you access to the whole game as a flowchart. I highly doubt that's what happened, but boy, wouldn't that be something? Honestly, the way that this game so far has, through its own internal language, I think very clearly hinted at what's coming next, and I haven't been misled by the assumptions. It might be that. It might functionally be a kind of chapter select. I wouldn't be surprised. Still have so many questions and I need answers before I can make a choice. I wonder if this just gets us to a whole other tree of questions outside of what we've got. I don't like this question because I already know the answer to it, and this feels infantile. Has to be another way. No, again, this feels narrow. Dislike both of these. I do ultimately kind of like this one. Alright, so before we click on that, I'm just curious what this is going to do. Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions and I need answers before I can make a choice.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Oh!
To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. In believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence?
Interesting. Interesting. I love that I won't engage with this as an option. Hmm. Hmm. I think I see what they're doing here. And I do kind of want to push back at it. Yeah, I want to engage with this.
Conflict and discomfort have defined the flow of everything between us. To deny it is to deny your truth. Your lover drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp?
I have no desire to hide, but the truth can be made better. Destroying you is what that takes, so be it. I don't want to hide from the truth. It doesn't matter how I feel. Death, suffering, and oblivion shouldn't fall on others. If we are able to transcend death, then we are responsible for those it holds captive. I get it. There's no need for us to keep fighting. I'll leave with you. I just don't know how. Stop the fight early and surrender. Interesting. I like that it's also going backwards through the paths that we've taken. Don't want to choose this one just yet, because I want to follow this thread to its end. This one is tempting, if only because I don't love these three options. Doesn't matter how I feel, death, suffering, and oblivion shouldn't fall on others. If we are able to transcend death, then we are responsible for those it holds captive. I want to see how you respond to this.
The echo saw horrors because his eyes were closed. The majesty of being extends beyond any single perspective.
There's the Wraith.
The spirits. With violence you stranded me, and with violence I sought to twist your flesh back into mine. You did not resist my violence when I overcame you. Did you understand the flesh wasn't you? Or did you choose to gift yourself to someone who thought she hated you?
Oh, what a question.
To fear losing the flesh. The flesh is not the spirit.
I helped you out of fear, and I'm not afraid of you anymore. That is why I resist you now. I fear you now more than ever. I was glad to set you free. This is the honest answer at the moment. Suffering born in delusion is still suffering. Doesn't matter what we are now, we hurt each other, and we shouldn't have done that. Cannot let a world be spun out of that pain. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Again, this is the honest answer, but this has some more meat on it. Yeah, suffering born in delusion is still suffering. It doesn't matter what we are. It doesn't matter what we are now. We hurt each other, and we shouldn't have done that. We cannot let a world be spun out of that pain.
Their suffering is born of their own delusion.
There she is.
Weightless, suspended in the gravity of an idea that threatens to consume you. And you are alone. A tiny island caught between the death of the old world and the birth of the new. But alone is not helpless. When you were confronted with my vessel's apotheosis, You chose against all odds to defy me, to hold on to your inner self with all its flaws, even in the scorching light of my divinity. Without me, there are no externalities to resist, and it is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
I still defy you now. I miss when that was you. You were consumed by your own ego. You reject the suffering of material reality, and yet you cling to its framework for meaning. We can be better than this. This one's cheeky. But again, this one has meat on it.
I reject the narrow view of impermanence. I cling to nothing. There is no better us for us to be than us. We are reality itself. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to.
This was our first ending, and it's still, in all of these, I think my favorite.
You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now. And you chose to pull apart that weave. But you did not choose to end me. We were still one, but we were also separate, and we were free. We were as we are. Will you excise that part of yourself now that you see me from yet another angle?
You were a part of me. I couldn't bring myself to hurt you. I couldn't bring myself to hurt you then, but maybe I should have. I miss what it was like to be together. Can we go back to it? You claim your destruction would steal meaning from existence, but if my actions can make existence worse, then there must be actions that can make it better. Perfection implies finality, and nothing is final. Interesting. Let's get back at the meaning of transformation.
There has never been finality. There is only the unending transformation of my multitudes. But to destroy me is to bring everything to a stop. It is only then that you will have an ending, and that ending is nothingness. You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
It's easy to believe in the things you believe in when you get to sit above it all. What do you think happens if we leave here? Okay, I'm ready to go, but how do we leave? I never wanted to fight you, but how do we leave? Can't let that happen. I was told there was enough of you in me to preserve meaning in existence. I'm going to trust that's true. Ooh. Ooh. I have to fight for a better world. I'm so sorry. You are cruelty itself, and I cannot let you exist. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something else. It can't be this. I won't kill you, but I won't let you free. You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you. Oh, hello. What an interesting and funky new circumstance we found. You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. You think you can change me, then I must be able to change you. Yeah.
What I offer you is not perspective, it is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Hey, bud! Welcome back! How you doing? Which hero are you? You have no idea how good it is to hear you? I can do this alone. Where's everyone else? How are you supposed to help? I thought voices weren't allowed here. I thought you died whenever I looked in the mirror. Or just say nothing. Where's everyone else?
They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place. Part of me is with them, just like part of me is with you right now. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I can do this out here on my own. No.
Too bad. We're going. Now.
Fair. Oh. Oh, perfect.
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
I like that, for old time's sake. Is it just you and me? Did anyone else make it to the cabin? Is the narrator really gone? Yeah, is it just you and me?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Is the narrator really gone?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
Oh, look out the windows. Good riddance. Don't actually know how to feel about him being gone. It's funny, after everything he put us through, I'm kind of sad to see him go. Am I... I don't actually know how to feel about him being gone.
Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
The offer still stands, but could you describe the cabin to me, for old time's sake?
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
I mean, I gotta try it.
No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far.
Love it. He didn't call it a pristine blade.
Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you want for us.
She sounded just like that. Timid and gentle. Only she didn't know us.
Alright, continue down the stairs.
And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
There you are. You look just like you did when we first met. Let's talk for a bit. Maybe we can figure this out.
Yeah, let's sit with her. I don't want to be a god. Phenomenal opener. Honestly, just A+. Are you the same as you are out there? What if we just leave? I think the only thing left for us to do is leave. Are you the same as you are out there?
I don't feel the same. I feel smaller.
I don't want to be a god.
I don't think I want that either.
What if we just leave?
Can we actually do that? What would that even mean? Where would we go?
Oh, I love that this is the top option. Usually the silent, like, action phrases are always at the bottom of the list. This is one of the rare instances where it's just the very first thing that we're given the option. It's also extremely tempting, but I'm at least going to read the things that are below it. I've always wanted to leave with you, but I didn't like being a god. I want to walk through that cabin door as we are, just you and me. Not knowing what it means is why I want it. We knew everything out there, but we don't know this. I want to know something new. It doesn't matter what it means. What matters is that we're leaving together. That's all I want. I don't know where we'd go, but as long as it's not here, and as long as I'm with you, that's all I want. These are all magnificent. These are all magnificent, and I'm still tempted to say none of them and just go. Yeah, not knowing what it means is why I want it. We knew everything out there, but we don't know this. I want to know something new. That's been the thing that I think I have loved most the entire time this whole game.
That's terrifying, but yeah, I think I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
Okay. Yeah, alright. Are you gonna be okay alone?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be alone for too long anyways. The others are still around here somewhere. I'll find them.
Leave with the princess. You lead and the princess follows, and together you leave the basement behind for the last time. It's quiet as you ascend, a comfortable silence filling a space that used to be flooded with violence and words and noisy thoughts. But there's an energy in the silence, an electricity, the anticipation of the unknown. At the top of the stairs, the princess stalls, eyes fixed on the cabin door. You can see a tension seize her. She's unsure of herself for the first time in her long and short existence. Her long and short existence. Yeah, that's an apt description. She has no part to play anymore, and she knows this. Yet she still is. And then she crosses the room to the door outside. You follow her confident steps.
Come on, princess. It's just a door. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. This is really it. Whatever happens next will be completely new.
Oh, okay. So we open with, I love you. Straight into, who's going to open it? Are you ready? A silly question. One that we've been asked a few times, and it's just always a silly question. Neither of us knows what it's going to be like out there. Which is a silly statement, but possibly one worth making anyway. Or we can just go ahead and open the door. We might only get a chance to pick from this list once. And this is a love story.
I love you too.
The voices in your head, Jonathan Sims. The final achievement was called "And What Happens Next?" And the comment under it is, "Whatever it is, you'll face it together." Thanks to our little creatures. Aww. A snake named Wednesday. I love that. Here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. Aww. Love that. Good stuff. Here, I'll do this if you guys want to do the same. You can't. You cannot. That's too clever. That's too clever. I'm sorry. What? Okay. This... absolutely amazing. Return to the main menu. I love it. Yeah, they've got links to the... I can't remember the name of it, but they've got another game that I think is releasing episodically that is coming up on their finale. But yeah, just make your own playlist, follow us somewhere else, join the subreddit, join our mailing list, join the Discord. Fucking incredible. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm emotionally wrecked by this game in the best possible way. It was... genuinely not a lot of perfect games. I have nothing that I would change. Which is funny when you consider kind of the meta narrative. I love it. This is perfect. That's all. That's it. That's the whole tweet. Fuck. That. I know I said, like, earlier on, hey, we might get to a final ending tonight, but I don't think it'll be like the, we might do more streams to do like the other paths, maybe, but also, God, that was just so satisfying. Do I just leave it here? I do kind of want to... I'll give this one some thought. I'll give this one some thought over the weekend. So, our schedule updates... The schedule up here. This one. Schedule.truck.community that I'll talk about at the end here. With that. This is probably... I don't think we're going to be starting anything new tonight in our next 15 minutes here or anything like that. The question that I have to ask myself once I get done piecing my heart back together after that incredible sequence of events. What a finale. Is what are we streaming Monday? Because we can either have a new game Monday, or we can come back to this and just essentially noodle around in all the try and get the endings that we didn't get. Try to meet all the voices we haven't met yet, because the Lord knows there are probably bunches of them. And I could try to do it organically. I could look up guides so that we could essentially speed run all the other paths. I don't know. I'll give it some thought. So yeah, keep an eye on our schedule, and somewhere round about midday Sunday, I'll have made my decision, and either it'll be more Slay the Princess Monday, or it'll be or we'll move on to our fourth and final game in Happy Ever After. But man, as far as happy endings go, that one I'm gonna call that one a pretty unequivocal success. Didn't get my favorite chapter 2, and judging by the fan art, a lot of people's favorite. Interesting. Okay. This is almost certainly a game that I will come back to at least on my own to 100%. The question is whether or not the only thing that would keep me from doing that on stream is the time concern about it, because it's like, do I want to... If I'm doing it for stream, I would be tempted to essentially look up guides so that I didn't waste time retreading a lot of the same ground that we've already done. But if I'm doing it for myself, I'm going to essentially do it sans guide to just see how well I can remember and how well I can get through the different paths or organically from here. I don't know, because I don't want to spend another like 5 episodes just poking into the corners that we haven't been in yet. So I'll noodle on this. I'll noodle on this because I like this game a lot, but I'm also thoroughly satisfied with where we ended tonight. So I'll have to think about it. But what I will say is, this game rules, and I love it so much. And yeah, these fantastic quotes. Thank you all, as always, for capturing those. That we have such moments as this is my third favorite chapter 2, an incredible sentence, which I now understand much more completely. I'm sure people. I haven't looked them up yet, but I'm sure people have like flowcharts of this game, right? And how like from each of like once you get to this chapter, then this choice takes you down this road, and this choice takes you down that road. Which, yeah, if I decide to keep streaming this one just to get all of like the voices and endings that we haven't gotten, I'll probably look one of those charts up and just be marking stuff off as we go. So that'll be honestly, that'll be fun to look up just to see how complicated the pathing is, because it seems interesting. I can do that research for you if you prefer to be surprised. I appreciate that offer, honestly. That is genuinely very sweet, and I may take you up on that to see if I can, right, because you've already done it, to see if I can essentially have my cake and eat it too. I'm saying all this to stall for time because I have another 10 minutes, but also just because I'm still emotionally reeling from that ending because it was incredible. But thank you all so much for coming and hanging out and experiencing this game with me, because it was phenomenal. And there might be more of it on Monday, or there might be something new. So yeah, keep an eye on our schedule at schedule.truck.community that has not only what I'm going to be up to here on this channel, but also what our whole stream team is up to all week long, with what they're streaming on what days at what times, links to their respective channels, so you can check out a whole host of cool games and things that are happening. Speaking of which, I believe here in just a little bit over at twitch.tv/SquirrelLily, Alice is going to be streaming more World's End Club, I believe is the order of the day. I need to move off of this just so that we stop getting the periodic flashing thing. As cool as that little horror thing is, I'm just going to go ahead and kick it off of there. But yes, because, yeah, World's End Club over at twitch.tv/SquirrelLily. I got thrown so many times. It's right. It's another game about multiple endings and how to avert them. What's that freaking book where it's how to not how to make friends and it's not how to make friends and alienate people. Those are mutually exclusive. It's something like that. There's a book that ends with how to win friends and influence people. Thank you. And I think there was one that specifically is the inverse of that, and it's how to lose friends and alienate people. I think is the name of the like parody version. Yes, thank you. That is the Simon Pegg film, is How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. I got there eventually. Thank you for the assist. But yeah, is the I don't know why that maybe the how to it came about multiple endings and how to avert them. Just that structure made me think of that. I don't need a guide for that. Badroid, I adore you. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much. We're gonna go ahead and call it a wrap here, because I'm just otherwise gonna just keep babbling for another 10 minutes, and nobody needs that. So, how to bake friends and end fluent people. Wait, no. I was worried that's what the captions were doing, which they might. Who knows? That's not on the captions. That's just a me thing. So I need that. So yeah, if y'all want to hang out and chat here, we'll send an early raid over. I don't think Alice is quite ready to spin up yet, but if y'all just want to hang out for a little bit, you'll be in the right place for when she goes live a little bit later on tonight for more World's End Club. And I think that's that on that. Thank you all so much again. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will hope to see you for whatever the heck we're doing Monday. See y'all then.